Have you ever had that question of what your purpose is, and maybe like that, who your tribe is, the people that you relate with to do that purpose? So I had a dream last night, and in the dream, I'm at a training event, and there's a bunch of coworkers, and we're doing introductions. So, hi, my name is, and at first they're just saying their first name, which I think is a little inadequate. There should be some more introduction. So, this one lady, she comes up and she introduces herself, and then she starts introducing me. This is Nicholas Sargent, and she said my name funny, like a PH sound in my last name, or she also said my last name was Rodriguez at one point. And then she said something interesting about how I used to preach all the time, that I was a preacher and I preach all the time. And so someone asked if that was true, and I just kind of, like, no, that's not true, I don't do that. But then later I thought, back in my past I was kind of preachy and evangelistic. And so I thought, well, she was probably just introducing me according to how she remembered me. And so I thought, well, maybe I kind of threw her under the bus by telling her that, telling everybody like this, what she said's not true. And so I thought maybe I should go up to her and ask her, or tell her that, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about, and that is kind of true about me back then, past version of myself. So that was the first thing I noticed, was just this past version. Some people in your life might remember you for who you once were, and they introduce you that way. But we change, we evolve. So the next part of the dream, I was just sitting with maybe a group of coworkers. We're at like one of those round tables, and I knew most of them. They're like people from my childhood. And I thought, oh, cool, I know these people. So, when you're in a training course and you get grouped up with people it's a little bit less, you have less anxiety, and maybe we're gonna do some group activity together. So I thought, this will be fun. I know these people, I'm comfortable with this. So it made me think about the whole like gathering with your tribe, people who are familiar, who you're gonna do something with in training at least, maybe for a practical purpose beyond training. And the last part of the dream was kind of the coolest. On my blog site, this dream is called Beneath the Surface. If you search for at nicholassargent.substack.com, that's my blog site where I post all my dreams and some pictures of them. That I do the pictures with AI. So this one was, I was on this wooden plank. It was like a boogie board, and I was on a lazy river with these other coworkers. So now this training is like this huge indoor water complex with the lazy river, and there's some details there you can read in the dreams, but I'm like going along, and at one point I just kind of jump off the side of the lazy river into this big pool. And this is like an aquarium pool. It's probably 50 feet deep at least, has coral reef, that type of feel to it. And I was zooming around in the water, almost like I was Superman flying on this boogie board. And I'm zooming around, folks, and the other coworkers are floating around in the water, and there are these big packages of clothing, almost like pallets of clothing tied together, and they're untying it. And I'm thinking, oh, it looks like they're doing some group activity. Maybe this is a charity that everybody's coming behind to do together. And so the thing that stuck out to me was I was flying through the water so fast, and I could see people noticing, and I was like, wow, I'm looking really cool. This is like a superpower. And then in addition to that, I noticed that I didn't need to breathe underwater, and I was still holding my breath, and I could keep going and going and going. So I felt kind of like I was enhancing my superpowers. So that would probably be the third part of the dream, was just an expansion of consciousness, of an awareness of my own abilities. So I guess the three parts of the dream that stuck out, and you might notice this in your dreams too. One is that a past version of myself was no longer recognizable to me, but it was what others remembered. So as you evolve, you might say, no, that's not me. And they're like, oh, yes, it is. So you have to maybe reflect, you might reflect on just who you are becoming, and how that's changing with the people around you. In addition to that, maybe you'll find your tribe, people that you can work together with, maybe train together with for a purpose. And then as the superpowers come up in you, whether it's, metaphorically at least in the dream, it's swimming through the water fast, on the boogie board and being able to breathe underwater. Maybe you'll start noticing abilities come up in you that surprise you and excite you that you can use together, maybe with a team of folks doing some type of purpose, like that charity event, being able to bring charity to other people. I even, on just a personal note, I was thinking, like, when I was making the AI image of the picture, the underwater scene, it reminded me of something I had seen in the galactic stuff I look into, in the Sirian solar system area, like Sirius B, one of the planets there. Apparently it's like more of a watery planet. And I remember someone telling me you should look into the mission of Sirius B, because that could be related to you. So seeing that underwater scene and all these people underwater in the picture in my blog site and untying the packages, I was like, oh, maybe we get together on some type of mission where we are doing some type of charity event and maybe even providing goods to the world, you know, clothing or just basic needs through some type of mission underwater. So I'll leave you with that, and keep dreaming.